So do you feel like you're at a point now where you're ready for a relationship, or do you feel like you still have more like just self-reflection growing to do and like?
Yeah, no, I don't want, I don't want one.
Okay. Smart man.
I don't want one. I do feel ready for one. I know my pace these days is way different, and I will keep things at a healthy distance while still getting to know someone for a lot longer. And if someone is right enough during that process and it keeps unfolding in this way, beautiful. I could see that happening.
Sure.
I've found most of my relationships these days they're not sustainable. But I think that's more realistic. I don't think any relationship is sustainable. So if we can start not on the fantasy that we're going to be together forever, but that like my life's super dynamic, it changes all the time. Let's just keep getting to know each other and keep being good to one another and see where this goes. That's kind of where I've been at these days. And I've gotten to know some great people. Some things have fizzled out naturally, and even that's been lovely, man. So I do think I'm capable of being in a relationship. I don't think I want one.
Yeah. It seems like LA, though, people do settle down way later.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
it's almost like the norm, I feel like, to really start settling down, at least here in like your 40s. It seems like that's about.
Well, also, like, I'm a fucking actor, man. Yeah. Like, my life changes all the time. It can change in a phone call, like, and then I go and shoot in another city for a couple months or whatever. Like, I've grown loving and accepting of the way my life is dynamic. If I lived in one town and kind of my life had a structure, I'd probably want a girlfriend. I'd want that. I'd want to build that. I'd want to do that. I'm so aware that my life is changing all the time and that I want it to.
Yeah.
That's not the best grounds for like a relationship. Like, hey, I love this right now, but also I'm always counting on the fact that my life is going to change and that it's going to take me to new places like next year. That's not the most stable, like, hey, you can count on me being here.
It seems very exciting, though. That sort of life where it's like, it could change every phone call, every text you get, every day is like a new opportunity. There is something exciting about that.
Yeah, it's maddening, but it's exciting. And I'm back on it in a very real way that makes me, like, I'm stoked about it. Yeah. I'm stoked for what's
What about
next.
your music?
Yeah.
Your music's pretty good.
Thanks, man.
Yeah.
Thanks. Music's been a journey. I've been doing that since I was 15. It is, I was doing a lot during the pandemic, and then 2021, something creatively died in me musically for the last couple of years, and it's slowly starting to come back around. So I don't have any news to report except that I will make new music at some point. Okay. And it'll be great.
Crushed it for you there?
I don't know, man.
Just the creativity.
Yeah, like literally something in my creative connection to it. Something, it's a natural process. I've grown used to knowing myself well enough that like, it like really just like skidded to a halt and died, and I felt it. I was like, whoa, I'm like not connected to any of my music. And usually when that happens, I don't fight it.
Sure.
I don't resist. Like, creativity is so natural to me. If it's not happening, especially with music, I'm so connected to it. I knew like, oh, I can't fight this. I just actually need to let all of this, whatever this process, there's a lot in our life we think we can control. There's a lot that's just happening, man. And if you can just pay attention to it, if you can get to know your intuition well enough, you just got to like let some of these processes happen sometimes. Sometimes we're going through changes that we didn't choose, but it's just our life, man. Cycles of our life are like playing themselves out, and creativity is a natural cycle, and death is a part of creativity. It's like
I envy people who could just create music like that, though, and could like just flip a switch, like that sort of creative mind. I love that.
Oh, me too.
Yeah,
I love it, and it's starting to flow again. I'm starting to experiment, and yes, I know I love it because I lose time doing it. Like I'll sit down, and all of a sudden it's midnight, and I've been like sitting at my desk for 8 hours, like making music, and it feels so good.
What's your creative process like?
These days it's different. So one of the things that kind of died for me musically was I had written every song I'd ever written on guitar pretty much. And I just got tired of that. And so now I'm forging into experimenting with bedroom producing, starting with just not guitar, starting with a beat, starting with something on keys, and just like crafting songs differently. And it's really just, I don't know, it's just a beautiful flowing process. I don't know, maybe I smoke a little weed and I just fucking try and find a vibe that feels, it's just like this deep, beautiful listening to myself and life and what's coming through me. And I love it, man. I'm excited. There's some new music coming this year. I can already feel it starting to cook. It's in the unmanifest. It's in the potential side of life right now. And I can feel it just like whispering to me. It's going to be great.